Hey guys, welcome to my art analysis. Dada. Dada was a cultural movement that began in Zurich, Switzerland during World War I and peaked in 1916 to 1922. The movement primarily involved visual arts like literature, poetry, art manifestos, art theory, and graphic design, and it concentrated on anti-war politics through the rejection of the general standards in art. Its purpose was to ridicule what its participants considered to be the meaninglessness of the modern world. Dada was very closely linked to communism in the fact that they both wanted to overthrow the bourgeoisie. The movement later influenced things like downtown music movement, pop art, and punk rock. Dada was the groundwork to abstract art, sound poetry, performance art, and surrealism. Henri Robert Marcel Duchamp, also known as Marcel Duchamp, was born July 28, 1887 in France. Marcel was largely ignored during his lifetime until he hit his 70s. This is when he emerged as a master with a new attitude towards art and society, which ended up changing the future of visual arts. He is known for his association with Dadaism, surrealist movements, and broken down boundaries between works of art and everyday objects. During his stay in New York, otherwise known as his Dadaist period, he developed the concept of found art. This then led to the infamous work of art, Fountain. I chose this piece of art because it was unusual to see. This idea originated from a discussion between Duchamp and his friends. After the conversation they had, he bought a urinal from a plumber's merchant and submitted it to an exhibition organized by the Society of Independent Artists. The board of directors were supposed to accept every member's submissions, but they refused to exhibit this piece of art known as the Fountain. After he was denied from his exhibition, he immediately resigned and protested. An article that was later written claimed that his fountain was not immoral and that was an absurd idea, and that it was no more immoral than a bathtub. The signature R. Mott came from Mott Works, the name of a large sanitary equipment manufacturer, and he took the R from the name Richard, which in French slang means money bags, the opposite of poverty. Cubism. Cubism was an artistic movement that spread throughout the years 1907 to 1914. This movement left behind the idea of traditional art and brought forward the idea of geometric representations of objects and people. This pushed for the idea of abstract art. Even though this movement did not last long, it influenced many future artists. This man is Georges Braque. He was trained to be a house painter, but he also invested a lot of his time in serious paintings as well. Before participating in Cubism, he worked in Impressionistic and Fauvism painting. When Paul Cézanne died in the year 1906, Georges was influenced by his paintings and how retrospective they were, which led to the works in Cubism. This painting is called Viaduct at l'Estaque. In this village scene, Georges reduced an architectural structure to a flat yet three-dimensional cube shape. He simplifies the houses to the so-called cubes, but with the overlapping trees it seems as if even the farthest building is forced forward. The colors all come together to where there is no particular end. Although the arcs are so far back, you don't fail to see them. They push towards you and attract your attention. The perspective allows you to see the rooftops of the houses, but you're also allowed to see up and through the arcs, as if you were to be below them. This oil painting by Georges Braque allows you to see a variety of viewpoints with his geometric forms. Fauvism. Fauvism was the first major unusual movement in European 20th century art. It is characterized by the intensely vivid, non-naturalistic colors. It was first exhibited in Paris in the year 1905. The members found their names Fauves when a critic said, Donatello au milieu des fauves, translating into Donatello among the wild beasts. At first, the movement was known as a mockery and abuse, but as it developed, major art buyers started to take interest. Although this movement only lasted from the years 1905 to 1908, Fauvism was very influential to 20th century art. Henri Charles Manguin was born in 1874 in Paris. He became fatherless at the age of 6 and was raised by his mother. At the age of 15, he decided to stop his education and devote himself to painting. He was exhibited for the first time in the year 1902 at the Salon des Indépendants, and then later became an associate for the Salon des Automnes. He was known as one of the Fauves in the year 1905. The beauty of the world took over him, and he traveled to Belgium and all over France, without stopping at any place for very long. His paintings are usually known to be women or landscapes. He was considered the painter of a happy life. This painting is called Morning at the Cavalier, and it interested me because although the colors are so dull, they are also very vibrant. It is very precise, yet it is not. The colors are not kinds you would naturally see out in nature, but you still see what is happening in the painting. It is a very peaceful painting, but it also gives off happiness, which goes along with the idea of the painter of a happy life. Well, we have come to the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye.